We continue now at the top of Daf Gimel Amud Beis in Meseches Shabbos. This is Shabbos Daf 103b. The Gemara here is in the middle of quoting a brisa, which will lead to a question on Rabbi Yehuda. The brisa continues, Talmud Lomer Achas. The pasuk says Achas. It says Achas. It says Me Achas. So which one is it? Haketzad. How does it work? Eino chayev at sheyichtov shem katan mishem gadol. You're only chayev for writing on Shabbos when you write a small word from a larger word. For example, Shem Mishimon and Mishmuel. The letters Shin Mem from Shimon and Shmuel, Noach mi Nachor, Nun Ches from Nachor, Don mi Daniel, the letters Daled Nun from Daniel, Gad mi Gadiel, the letters Gimel Dalet from Gadiel. That's the opinion of the Tanakama. Rabbi Yehuda, Omer, Rabbi Yehuda says, Afilu lo kasav el shtei osios, even if the person only writes two letters, Vehein Shem Echad, and they're all of one, they're the same letter, Chayev Yerchayev, Kagon, for example, Sheish Teis Ror Gag Chach. So here in this brisa, Rabbi Yehuda is giving an example where you're writing two shins or two tufs, whereas in our Mishnah the implication was you need to write two different letters. So that's the contradiction within the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda. Amar Rabbi Yossi says, "V'chi misham kosev uchayev." Is he really chayev because of kosev? V'alo eino chayev ela misham roshem. This is a continuation of the brisa. Rabbi Yossi's opinion, like we found in our Mishnah, you're really chayev just for roshem, which is making any kind of symbol, writing any kind of. It doesn't have to be a letter. Shekain roshman al karshe hamishkan leida ezu hi ben zugo. We said this before, also in the Mishnah, that they used to put a sign on each beam in the Mishkan, and that's how they would know to pair up one with the other. Lafikach, therefore, sarat srita achas al shnei nesarin. If you put one srita, you put one scratch, one indentation on two boards, or shtei sritos al neser echad, or if you put two on one board, chayiv. In that case, you're going to be chayiv. The brisa continues. Rabbi Shimon says, "V'yasa achas." What does the pasuk mean when it says you do one of these things? Yachol ad sheyichtov es kol hashem ad sheyero kol habeged ad sheyas es kol hanafa. I might think you have to, again, like we said before, write the entire name, weave the whole garment, or make the entire sieve. Talmud Lomer me'achas. It says me'achas. Ime'achas yachol afilu lo kasav ala osachas v'afilu lo arag ala chot echad v'afilu lo asa la bayis echad b'nafa. Again, just from the word me'achas, we would have thought just one letter, just one thread, just one bias in the sieve. Talmud Lomer achas. So it says achas. Haketzad. What? So how are you really chayiv? Eino chayiv at sheyasa malacha shekayotze ba miskayemes. According to Rabbi Shimon, what we learn out from these psukim is it has to be a malacha that is going to be miskayemes. That's going to be like a permanent malacha. Sounds very similar to the Tanakama, which the Gemara will ask that question. And the Gemara and the brisa continues. Rabbi Yossi says. This will also be explained later, but Rabbi Yossi says, V'yasa achas v'yasa heina. It says v'yasa achas, and it says the word heina. So, pa'amim shechayev achas al kulanu, pa'amim shechayev al kol achas v'yachas. Rabbi Yossi learns out from here, sometimes you can be chayev one thing for doing many of the malachas, and sometimes you can be chayev on each individual action that you do. So the Gemara now concludes with its question here. So Katani Mia, it says in this brayser, Rabbi Yehuda, Omer afilu lo kasav ela shtei osios ve'en shem echad chayev. That even if it's the same letter, you write two letters, or really one letter twice, you're chayev. Our Mishnah implied not that way. So the Gemara says, Lo kasha, that's not difficult. Hadi de, hadi rabbe. In one case, Rabbi Yehuda is saying his own opinion. In one case, he's quoting his Rebbe. The Tanya we learned in a brisa. Rabbi Yehuda, Omer, Rabbi Yehuda says, Mishum Rabbi Gamliel. This is in the name of Rabbi Gamliel, his Rebbe. Afilu lo kasav ela beis osios ve'hen shem echad. Rabbi Gamliel is the one that held. If you write two letters, but it's a letter, you write one letter twice. Chayiv, your chayiv. In that case, could go in sheish, teis, ror, gag, chach. So now the Gemara just continues to take a look at this brisa. Rabbi Shimon hainu Tanakama. Isn't Rabbi Shimon the same as the Tanakama, saying that you need to do a permanent type of malacha for it to count? So v'chitema aleph da'azercha ike benayu. Maybe you'll say the difference is if I write two alephs from the word azercha, the Tanakama savar aleph da'azercha lo mechayev. Rabbi Shimon savar kevan de'isa begalture be'alma chayev. Maybe Rabbi Tanakama would hold in that case you're not chayev, and Rabbi Shimon would say you are chayev in this case. Rashi here explains. V'chitema aleph da'azercha shehem shtei osios miteva gadol. That's two letters from one word. Avalom matzinu shiteva katana b'chol hamikra. We don't find anywhere that an aleph followed by another aleph is going to be worth anything. So azrecha is a word, but aleph is never a word anywhere. So maybe that's the distinction between them. And Rabbi Shimon says, Kevan disa begalture. What's galture? Kamios uchsavim shal mechashvos. In witchcraft or in amulets, they have letters that sometimes you wouldn't put together in normal writings. V'shal shemos karan b'loshen Latin shal minin ka klutras regilan sofran lichtov ben tevos shel shteyozios ve'enam tevos b'magam acher. You'll sometimes see consecutive letters in these amulets that you won't find anywhere else, and that's what Rabbi Shimon was saying. Kevan deisa b'galtura bi'alma chayev. Since you can find them in these galture, you're going to be chayev. So the problem with that is l'meimra de Rabbi Shimon l'chumra. That would imply that Rabbi Shimon is actually being stricter and saying you're chayiv in a case where the Tanna Kama does not say chayiv. Do you mean to say that Rabbi Shimon is stricter? V'atanya, we learned in a brayso in a different context. It says hakodeach kolshu chayiv. A person drills a little bit, he's even any amount, he's going to be chayiv. Hamegarer kolshu. Also, if a person's megarer kolshu, he scrapes a little bit. Hama'avid kolshu, he does a little tanning of leather. Hatzor b'chlitzura kolshu, he makes an image and a kliya, just a tiny amount. You're going to be chayiv according to the Tanna Kama. Rabbi Shimon says Adshi kadeches kulo. He's more lenient in this case. You got to do the whole thing. Adshi yigor es kulo, Adshi abed es kulo, Adshi yotzer kulo. So it seems from this brayso that Rabbi Shimon is actually more lenient. So that's a contradiction to the idea of saying that Rabbi Shimon is l'chumra. So the point is that when it comes to how much of the malacha you have to do, Rabbi Shimon seems to be the more lenient opinion, not the more strict opinion. So Ella, the Gemara says, rather Rabbi Shimon ha'asal ashmin, and Rabbi Shimon is coming to teach us the following: Ad sheyichtav Hashem kulo. He holds you actually have to write the entire word. You can't write part of the word, even if in another context that part of the word would be a word. Gemara says, but can you really say that if you look at the language of the brayso of Atanya? If you read the brayso, it says, Rabbi Shimon Omer v'asa achas yochol ad sheyichtav Hashem kulo. I might think you're chayav for writing the whole word. Clearly, you don't have to write the entire word. Talmud Omer me'achas. That's why it says me'achas. So the Getaretz ve'mahachi. In order to answer this, you have to read it as follows: Yochol ad sheyichtav es hapasuk kulo. A major change in reading the brayso. This is what Rabbi Shimon said. I might have thought you have to write an entire pasuk. Talmud Omer me'achas. That's what it says me'achas, to say you don't have to write an entire pasuk. But Rabbi Shimon is lenient and says you do have to write the entire word to be chayiv. Rabbi Yossi said at the end of the brayso there, it said v'yasa achas v'yasa heina. It uses the word achas and it uses the word heina. Pa'amim shechayiv achas al kulon u'pa'amim shechayiv al kol achas v'achas. Sometimes you're chayiv one for all the actions you do. Sometimes you're chayiv for each individual action. Amar Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Chanina. So Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Chanina says, my time with Rabbi Yossi. What's the reason for Rabbi Yossi? Rashi here explains, my time with Rabbi Yossi, heichi darishli. How is he darshaning this? Where is he getting this from? What's his reasoning? So the answer is achas me'achas, heina me'heina. He's darshaning achas me'achas, and he's darshaning heina me'heina. Rashi here explains, achas me'achas, achas havale lemichtav. It could have just said, you do achas. It didn't have to say the word me'achas. V'lishtok. Don't say anything else. V'chas of mem yisera, u'meheina yisera. It's writing an extra mem, and it's writing the extra mehena, and then Rashi continues, heina mehena, inami heina havale lemechtav. It could have said the word heina, v'chas of mehena, mem yisera. The extra mem over there also. U'me'achas yisera, and there's the word me'achas is yisera. In other words, it could either say achas mehena or me'achas heina. It doesn't need to say everything that it's saying over here. Helkach lemidrashinu lekulu kasvinu. That's why, so we end up with an entire extra word and an extra mem. That's how the Gemara is understanding, and he continues to explain here. Achas me'achas heina me'heina, meaning achas shehi heina ve'heina shehi achas. You darshan one which is many, and many which is one. Achas Shimon, for example, achas could be a case where you write Shimon. Me'achas shem Shimon. That can be, me'achas means if you write the word shame from Shimon, as we have said. Heina avos. Heina refers to doing an av malacha. Meheina toldos. That refers to doing toldos. Achas sheheina. What is a situation of one which is many? Zodon Shabbos v'shigas malachas. That would be a case where the person realizes it's Shabbos and makes a mistake on each independent malacha. He's going to bring many karbonos. Heina shiachas. Where's a case where it's many but you're only going to bring one carbon? Shigas Shabbos v'zodon malachas. That's going to be a case where you didn't realize it was Shabbos. But you knew the malacha, so that's only one mistake, so you bring one carbon. Again, we've said these ideas earlier in the Masechta about different arguments and different positions about when you bring many carbonos and when you bring one carbon. Rashi here finishes explaining. V'darash achas heina below mem hachi. Here's how you darshan. Achas heina without a mem as follows. Achas sheheina means one that is many. Heina shiachas, and many that are one. Latrei gavna. You can darshan that in two directions. Iko lemidrish mashmosayu v'asa avera achas vilo heina chayev chato chatos harbe. You do one avera, you get many chatoses. Inami v'asa achas asiyaso chashuva lo kachas. You do many things, but it counts as one. Ve'afa b'shehina have, even though you really did many things. Mashma shaharbe averos asa v'ainu heina shiachas. Hilkach tarvayu darish bei. Make both drushes. Pamim shikein upamim shikein kidim afarish l'kamei. Sometimes it comes out this way, sometimes it comes out that way, as it explains. Now achas shimon kolomar darish mem yasera achas have a mash v'deino chayva et shicht of kol hateva sheneskav melechtav. I would have thought to say that you have to write the whole word. Me'achas, so the word mem, the extra mem, shem mishimin. Kasav me'achas l'meimer da filo kasav ala miktsasa uvelvad shetei mekuyemes b'makam acher dum yadachas dereisha dekra. Even if you write part of the word, as long as in another context it would be a word similar to the beginning of the pasuk, then you're going to be chayev. Heina have a mashma avos kasav meheina l'rebuye told us avos and told us. Achas sheheina da'amrin leil hechidam kagon shasan bezad Shabbos v'shigas malachas. Again, you forget about each independent malacha. Ve'afagav dechulon einon elachil Shabbos achas mechayev l'chol malacha malacha. In that case, since there was different forgettings for each malacha, you're going to be chayev on each one. To gufei malachas mechalken hol v'ika shigaga tuva shgaga tuva. Since there's many mistakes in each malacha, you're going to bring a carbon for each one. Heina shiachas shigas Shabbos v'zad malachas shafa bishein gufei malachas harbe. Even though you've done many malachas, eino chayev alachas techodesh. It is all considered to be one shogeg. Amar Rav Yehuda said, Matzino shem kata mishem gadol. We said you're writing a small word from a large word. For example, shem mishim. The Gemara asked the obvious question: Mi dami? Can you really compare mem de shem sasa mem de shem and pasuach? The mem in the word shem is a mem sophis. It's closed, and the mem in the word shimon is a regular mem. It's an open mem. So why, if you write the word shame from shimon, you haven't written anything because you have the wrong mem. Amar Rav Chisda says Zos Omeris. This shows us sasum vaso pasuach kasher, that if a person makes a letter that was supposed to be closed but he writes it open, that is going to be kasher. Meaning, when a person is writing a sefer Torah, tefillin, and mezuzahs, that's going to be a kosher kind of writing. That letter counts as a mem regardless, and that's why you're chayav for writing it on Shabbos. The Gemara says, Mesa, we ask a question on this from a brisa. Uchsavtam, the pasuk says you're going to write tefillin and mezuzah, and what does it say over there? It says shetehei ksiva tama. It says your writing has to be complete. Rashi says it means shalem kelchasa. You write everything kelchasa. Shalo yichtov alfin einin alfin. You shouldn't write aleph instead of an ayin, and vice versa. Basin kafin basin, gamin sadin gamin, dalsin reshin dalsin, heyin chesin heyin, vavin yudin vavin, zainin nunin zainin, tesin pefin tesin, kafufin pshutin. You don't write where it should be a we'll see this in Rashi exactly what it means, but kafufin instead of pshut, you write Kfufin, you write them pshutin, or pshutin kfufin, you write things that should be pshutin kfufin. Memin samchen, memin stumin, psuchen, stumin. Again, that's the case we're talking about. Closed, open, and open, closed. Parsha psucha lo yasena stumin, open parsha, don't make it closed. Stuma lo yasena psucha, don't make it closed parsha, open. All of these things are going to be problematic. Kosva keshira. Let's say you write it the way that you write the songs in the Torah, or you write the song similar to the other way in writing. You write it without the proper diyo, the proper ink. You write the Hashem's name in gold. That has to be stored away. The point of the question is, it seems pretty clear from this brisa that you can't write a mem pasuach sasam and vice versa. You have to write the proper mem. That's the question. Let's just see some of these cases now in Rashi here. Alf and ayin, you write an aleph instead of an ayin. They have similar, you read an aleph and an ayin in a similar fashion, so people mix them up sometimes. Beis and kafin, domin b'chsivasan. A beis and a kaf look similar, so people mix it up. Gamin sadin, domin b'chsivasan. That's a gimel and a tzadi look similar. Elashazel lamala v'zel lamata. One is written upwards, one is written downwards. Zainin, nunin, those are pshutin. Those are straight letters. Kafufin, kaf, pei, tzadi, nun. So kfufin is bent letters. That refers to the kaf, the pei, tzadi, and the nun. And pshutin, what's pshutin? Ha-kafulos shalahen pshutos. The kfulos of those letters. So, for example, if you have a chaf sophis, that's going to be straight as opposed to a chaf which is bent. A pei sophis is straight as opposed to a regular pei. Same thing with the tzadi sophis. Same thing with the nun sophis. Mem in samchen, mem stuma shadom ala samach. That means you write a mem, but you close it off similar to a samach. That's the idea. Stumin, mem, stuma, psuchin, mem, psucha, right? You have a mem that should be closed. You make it open. That's the exact case. We want kasvul the Sefer Torah kashira b'dilugin ariach ulevena. So if you write the Sefer Torah like you would write the shiras are written like bricks. You write one section and then you skip a little space, then another section, and then the next line, the actual section of writing is staggered. So that's going to be, again, the wrong way. If you're writing the regular parts of the Sefer Torah like a shira, it's going to be a problem. So in any case, we have here a question of on our Mishnah. Is the mem, are you allowed to interchange the mems or not? It seems to be a contradiction. So the Gemara says, Hu damar ki aitana. Our Mishnah will go like the following brisa, where it says, Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira Omer, Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira, it says, Nemar b'sheni. On the second day of Sukkot, it says, V'niskehem. Bashishi, on the sixth day, it says, Unisacheha. Bashvi, it says, Kimishpatam. Hare mem yud mem. Mayim, we use we take those letters mem, yud, and mem. So v'niskehem, the mem from v'niskehem, we take the letter of unisacheha, we take the yud, and kemishpatam, we take the mem. That spells mayim. Mikan remez lenisach mayim in Torah. That is a hint to nisach mayim in the Torah. And in that case, we're using mems that are mem sofis as though it was a mem pasuach. The first mem is from v'niskehem. It's closed mem, and you're using it for the first letter of the word mayim. So the pasuach vaso sasam kosher. Now, from the fact that you can take what should be an open letter and make it close as kosher, so sasam nami sasam vaso pasuach kosher. If you write the word, let's say shame, it should have been a mem sofis, and you write pasuach, that's also going to be kosher. This is where we learn it out from. Our Mishnah follows Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira. So the Gemara says, you can't really even bring a proof from here. Midami, is it really similar? Can you really, in the case of the Viniskehem, you're using a mem sofis instead of an open mem. Maybe that's better. Midami, pasuach vaso sasm, if you take what should be open and make it closed, the Gemara will continue and say that might actually be better, and we'll continue that discussion in the next video on Daf Kuf Dalid Amud Aleph.